What's up, Elder King? I wasn't really looking at the chat on here, but what's up, Elder King? Yo, King, what's good? I'm a Dirk fan myself. You should break down UFC's biggest moments and break down the biggest fights. I could possibly do that, but I might do that tomorrow. Might do that on the 31st. I don't know if I'm gonna do this stream because I think I really want to be on stream maybe like an hour, 30 minutes. To do that, I would have to already set aside the stuff I'm gonna react to. But hey, if you got some links and stuff, you could send them probably in my Discord. Like, so if you're not in my Discord, I can send you the link to my Discord. You could join the Discord, and then you could drop some links and stuff, and I'll be better able to go through that on the stream. I do react to the biggest moments on stream, but right now that probably take too much time to try to gather all the stuff to react to. But yeah, are you talking like a Dirk Nowitzki type of fan? Like Dirk, what type? Oh, Little Dirk. I said Dirk Nowitzki. But yeah, Little Dirk. You should be breakdown. But yeah, probably another stream where I react to that type of stuff. But yeah. Let me get into the Anthony Joshua stuff. So now I'm live on YouTube as well, but with a different title. Now I'm gonna react to the Anthony Joshua's car accident. React to the video to give my thoughts on that whole situation. Probably talk about Inoue a little bit. Probably talk about Islam Makhachev Merab. And that'll probably be, I'll be getting tongue tied, but that will probably conclude the video. What I do, I don't know. I'm on YouTube and Twitch, but I'm thinking YouTube. And a couple of these things probably will end up being on YouTube. But yeah, that will conclude the stream once I've reacted to this Anthony Joshua car crash. React to Inoue a bit. And Islam and Rob and probably talking about the fight of the year. Now we'll probably wrap up the stream. But yeah, I will likely stream again this year, probably the 31st, maybe like a New Year's theme type of video. Nothing special in the background at all, but maybe I'll do shot o'clock. Every sub a shot. I take a shot for every sub, something like that for New Year's or just 31st, and roll it into New Year's. But as far as the stream, it's gonna wrap up. We'll be talking about probably fighter of the year and pound for pound and legacy stuff like that. But yeah. But what am I doing? Now let me get it on. Also, I might cancel my Hulu subscription on here as well. But let's react to Anthony Joshua's thing first. Seconds Out, they're a pretty good channel, so I'll use that one. All right, somebody reacted to this Anthony Joshua car crash incident that just happened earlier today, I believe.
What? I just got a loan for $5.
Lagos, Nigeria. I am here with a breaking news. Devastating news coming out of Lagos, Nigeria. 2 dead as Anthony Joshua is involved in a road accident on the expressway. Details are coming in real time, but as the report stands right now, Anthony Joshua has reportedly been involved in a road accident in Ogun State, Nigeria. According to reports, 2 people died in the accident that occurred in Nigeria earlier this morning. The vehicle conveying the Nigerian-born British boxer was said to have collided with another car under circumstances that are yet to be fully established. We do not know the circumstances of the accident. However, the 2 cars collided and 2 individuals were pronounced dead on the scene. Anthony Joshua has injuries, but at this point have not been reported to have been lethal. Of course, our thoughts and prayers are with the former unified.
But yeah, that's enough of a reaction. I feel like this guy's kind of behind a little bit because, yeah, this guy, let me put this thing up here. But yeah, I feel like the person in this video is a little bit behind because I've already heard further details about the accident. It was the car that Joshua was driving in. He was not driving. He was in the back seat, as you can see from the picture. So Joshua was in the back seat. I believe he was with 2 friends, and they were driving. Well, one was driving. I don't know whether we're close friends, but I'm hearing from people that Joshua only hangs out with people that he's close to. So they're probably either relatives or friends that were driving or was the driver. And I believe that the two people in the front seat of the car he was in died, and he suffered minor injuries. But the people that were in the front seat of his car died, and it was again, that all is alleged. So we don't know if it's that two, we know that two people died. We don't know if it was the two people in the front seat or two people in the car that was struck. But I think the other car was a truck. It was on the side, and then the car that Joshua was in, a tire popped, and then they lost control, and that car crashed into a car that was just stopped on the side of the road or on the highway or whatever. By the way, it was the car that Joshua was in that drove into the other car because their tire popped. They lost control and it drove into a car that was stopped, or a truck that was stopped. So, terrible situation. So Joshua, after having one of the biggest moments of his career, obviously Jake Paul is nobody as far as a fight for him, but he made a lot of money for the Jake Paul fight. He got a lot of new fans. He got a lot more attention. He already was a big star, but it made him a major star in the U.S. like he'd never been before by beating an easy fight like Jake Paul. But so made a lot of money, got an easy win, got a lot of new fans, a lot of more female fans, especially female American fans. And then he goes back to Nigeria. I think his hometown in Nigeria, and just chilling, probably with some friends, probably driving, just about to head back into town after going whatever he came from, or I don't know whether he was coming or going or whatever was happening, but he was driving. Well, he was in the back seat. So he was in the front seat. He was in the back seat chilling. Tire pop. Lost control. But he's perfectly good. I think he'll be okay. Minor injuries, but I think as far as him, I think it'll be the emotional scars and the trauma more than anything from this incident that will affect him. Like, I think physically he'll be good. He's probably already good right now physically, but emotionally and mentally, I think there will be scars there. Because especially they say like the people he mainly hangs out with are people he's close. He don't just hang out with anybody. So those could be people that he held near and dear. Could be blood family that died. So they're probably gonna come out with more news about who died in the car crash. But this is all very sad news. Like, and that's just how life can be sometimes. Like, you reach these high points in your career, then life just shows you that you can always, take a dip. Like, you could be here, and life could bring you all the way back down to the floor at any moment. You could be at the top of Mount Everest, and life could immediately bring you back to the floor. But yeah, I appreciate those bits, Jill. Appreciate the 40 bits. I don't know if those emojis matching the tone of what I'm talking about, but hey, I appreciate it. And luckily, this is a small stream, so I ain't really got nobody viewing this, so it is what it is. But I appreciate the bits. And also, that's probably the only emoji I got, so that's my fault right there. I don't have no more emojis. I try to upload some more, but I can't just take the ones I got on YouTube and put them on Twitch. Like, it needs to be a different size, a different that, a different this. But yeah, sad news. But yeah, thanks again, Jill. But yeah, sad news. But I can't say I hope he this and that. I think he's already good about this thing. But yeah, what I will say is prayers to him, his friends, his loved ones, and everyone involved. To people that were injured, died, anyone involved in that car accident, anyone emotionally affected, anyone connected in any way. Prayers to him, and prayers to everyone in the combat sports world as well, because it's all community at the end of the day, and like, it does come together at times. So especially when you see stuff like this happen to fighters and stuff, or combat sports athletes and athletes in general involved in bad time. But yeah, prayers to his family and him and his loved ones. Most importantly, the people, everyone affected in that car accident, and for the people that are still here with us, speedy recovery, and outside of the physical, the mental and emotional as well. Hope that they're all able to recoup and be able to, I guess, just recoup. There's no really getting beyond it. You can't get beyond death, like as far as like losing people. Like, you can't get those people back. You can't get that time back. You can't go back in the past and change what happened. But you can try to find a way to get back to some type of normal and pay your respects and your love and prayers to the people that are no longer here with us. But yeah. And I'll give a 2-second moment of silence for the ones lost and the ones affected. But all right, now on to the next segment. What I'll talk about. I guess I'll react to some Inoue highlights from his last fight, and I'll talk about him a little bit. And then after him, I'll talk about Islam Makhachev, Private Rob, and maybe talk about Hulu as well. I'll talk about Hulu. Well, not Hulu, because ESPN Plus, really. I'm getting rid of ESPN Plus, because, yeah, I'll talk about ending my ESPN Plus, but all that's connected. I got a bundle where it's Hulu, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus, but I'll get rid of all those. I really don't use those. ESPN I only use for UFC, so I have no use for ESPN Plus. Hulu, I only got it for Bleach, but I think I could just save that money and just watch Bleach on some other website for the time being when it does come back. And it's not like Bleach been dropping episode after episode. Like, they'll drop a couple episodes, and then they'll stop showing episodes for like a whole year, drop a couple episodes, wait a whole another year. So it's not like Bleach hasn't even been dropping consistently. So I really have no use for Hulu. Disney is real cool, but I pretty much watched everything I wanted to watch on Disney. Is it really like I care so much about Disney to keep Disney Plus? So yeah, they're all connected, but I could definitely save that $30 a month. Like, not a whole lot, but it's no point spending money that's just for nothing. Like, you gotta value the dollar. So like, take that $30 away, and then I think Paramount Plus is only like $30. Not even $30 a month. It's like $110 for the premium bundle for the whole year. So with ESPN Plus and Hulu and all that stuff combined, I'm probably paying like $30 a month. And then there might be a pay-per-view every month or every 2 months, probably like 10 pay-per-views a year that I would buy. And it'd be like $80 of pay-per-view. So think about that. What's like $800 spent on pay-per-views. And then probably what's the math on that? Probably like $170, $180 a year spent on the bundle. And on top of that, the $800+ spent on pay-per-views, as opposed to now just paying $110, $120 once and not have to pay nothing extra. That deal, it just speaks for itself. So if I only care for the UFC mainly as far as those streaming platforms, then I'm pretty good. I'm very good. And what else I got? So I already got Netflix. I already got Amazon Prime. That came with my Prime subscription, so I can get packages quick and whatnot, and I get access to shows and stuff. Prime don't really got that much good content, but it does got some decent stuff on there that I watch every now and then. But the main reason it just comes with the package delivery. So again, I get packages and I get some shows, so that already speaks for itself. So even though I might not fully care for the shows, I do, get a lot of Amazon, a decent amount of Amazon packages. So that's cool. And yeah, so Amazon's cool. I got Netflix. And then I would have Paramount and I think Showtime with this new bundle. So I have plenty of different streaming platforms. And really, I probably spend more time watching YouTube now than I do watching any type of platform. I probably watch a couple Netflix shows here when like a real big Netflix show come out. So I'm not really losing anything by dropping those 3 platforms. Nothing at all by ESPN getting dropped. Nothing at all by Hulu getting dropped, to be honest. And Disney, mainly nostalgia. So again, that'd be something easy to drop. But yeah. Inoue highlights of his last fight. Then I'm gonna talk some trash about Inoue. And then yeah, we keep on rolling. Alright, DAZN. So react to these Inoue highlights from his last fight against Picasso. This man.
I started my degree.
The competition at the weight class Inoue's fights at is so bad that he's fighting dead painters.
Inoue brothers went back to their roots, so to speak. They did portions of their training camp outdoors for the first time in many years. A little bit of a nostalgic feel, and this is vintage Naoya Inoue that you're seeing right now. Look at that.
Terrific combination, just going through the gears.
Opponent, but I think everything that Inoue does is really predicated off of that amazing quick first step.
Big right hand there from Inoue.
He's just creeping the wrong direction. Picasso is moving on to that right hand. He's better off taking a little step to his right hand side. Away.
Nice chopping right hand there from Picasso as Inoue comes back, leaping in with an uppercut.
These are the passages where Picasso's really got to get to work. When he's got his man back onto the rope or in the corner, then you get to work. Just standing in front of Inoue a bit too much there. I'd like to see him just get either side of the target.
Inoue trying to hook with Picasso there, trying to bait him in with his back against the ropes. Oh, that right hand there from Inoue.
Had an opportunity to go again there. Inoue, double jab right hand, but look at that. Wow, uppercut, left shot. Beautiful stuff, Corey. That really is class. And he doesn't need to do this. He's opting to do this. Sit in the pocket there. Shots flying out, pushing Picasso back. That left to the body as well, just slipped through the guards.
Oh, and another one right there, and Picasso.
But yeah, Inoue dominated that fight. It was his most recent fight. Again, what happened, like Saturday, Sunday? Not too long ago. Very recent fight. But what I would say about that fight? I don't hate Inoue. I really don't. But I think a lot of people are so quick to glaze him like he's done something so amazing. I think his skills are amazing. I just think his level of competition is just far less than amazing. Like, what's the best guy he's ever fought? The best guy Inoue has ever fought was Donaire, a 38-year-old Donaire. And then maybe you could say the best guy as far as at the time was Fulton, the best guy for. But I don't consider a 38-year-old Donaire that got chased down back to the lower weight classes a great one. I just think that speaks to how mediocre the weight classes that Inoue fights at. I don't think his weight classes are. I think the weight class, he might be, a 4 or 5 division champion, but a lot of those weight classes like 2 and 3 pounds apart from each other. So is that really doing much? I could take a piss and lose 3 pounds, like 2-3 pounds apart. Take a dump and lose 5 pounds, 2 to 3 pounds apart. I think the competition is mediocre. I think Fulton, he's probably like a good reality. Fulton's like a C-level boxer, if we've been honest. We talk about the whole scale and guys like Canelo and Crawford and Usyk, and they're like the A's or the S. I think it's fair to say that Fulton's like a C. Like, he's a world-class boxer and whatnot, but as far as like when you look at the real greats, Fulton's like a C-tier boxer. That's when he best win. Donaire at the time before him was like a C-tier boxer, 38-year-old, and got beat out of his weight class to go down back to a smaller weight class, and then he gave you one of the matter of fact, the hardest fight of your career. Then you had a rematch, because the first fight was so close, he broke the jaw, and then you beat him when he was like 40 years old and stopped him. And that's your best win. So how you like a 5-division world champion, but when you look at the resume, you can't really pick one true all-time great win. And when I look at guys he fight, like Picasso, who was Picasso? He beat up a dead painter. Who's Picasso? A mediocre boxer. Like Picasso, again, world-class boxer, but on a world-class level, Picasso's probably like a D or F-tier boxer as far as a world-class level. And you can see from skills, I feel like, yeah, you can look good when you're not fighting good competition, and they can say all this stuff about, oh, he can't go up further. Like, I think he could go up further. And I think, let's just say Tank. Tank probably physically wider than him, but I feel like if Tank didn't enjoy, eating as much as he did, and I feel like Tank could fight at a smaller weight. I feel like they're not much size between him. And I feel like he could go up a little bit further, and it's not like him and Tank like the same height. Tank might be a little bit wider, and people say, "Oh, now that's bullying." Tank's much bigger, and he's not much bigger. Tank is a smaller guy who just doesn't want to drain himself. Like I said, it got people like all the time. Like you be seeing people in different like combat sports, like whether it be MMA, wrestling. Some people just prefer to have a little extra mass on them, and they can fight higher weight classes. They don't want to drain themselves to make a weight class. Like, but physically they're around the same size. Like you can see, who I'm trying to think of. Well, Canelo's one of them to a extent. Canelo, he's fighting really above his weight class anyway. His truest weight class is probably like 160, if anything. Maybe, matter of fact, 154 maybe. Nah, I feel like 160. But we seen him go with like the 175, so he's fought well above where his weight class is. For real, for real. In no way I feel like he drains, so I feel like he can go up more. But people kind of trying to give him his flower. Like, he's a good fighter, but the top, how people consider him possibly pound number one boxer when he has not even fought one real pound fighter? Now they're trying to build up Nakatani to be a pound for pound win. What has Nakatani done? I look at Nakatani, I'm not impressed. I look at Inoue, I'm impressed with his skills, but I'm not impressed with his level of competition. And again, for Donaire, a 38-year-old and 41, 42-year-old Donaire, and Stephen Fulton to be your best wins in your top 3, top 2, and even top 1 pound for pound on a lot of people's pound for pound list, it don't really match up. Like, we see these other people in history, like look at Roy Jones Jr., like some of his wins when he was pound for pound on one, like what James Toney, legit legend of the sport, legit pound for pound. I mean, legit Hall of Famer, like legit Hall of Famer, like walk him into the Hall of Fame. James Toney, Bernard Hopkins, legit walk him to the Hall of Fame. Like when you see guy being like, and he went from like what 160, I think, to heavyweight. That's real pound for pound. But no way moving up like 14 pounds. They ain't no real. And still has not fought one legit fighter in all these years. Oh, he's been a champion for 10 years, but who has he beat? It's not a matter of, they're being small. No. Oh, it's because he's a small weight class and nobody cares about the small guys he's fighting. No, they're just not good. You fought a Wash Donaire and struggled. And you fought Stephen Fulton, a C-tier boxer with no real threats for you. Like, he's a Timu version of an American box. Like, he's a Timu version of the American standard. Like, he could stick, he could move, but he ain't really got no counter ability. He ain't got no real pop behind his punches. His defense not that slick. His footwork not that good. He's like a cheap Timu version of what people think American boxing is, or the American boxer is. And even guys that don't have the resumes, the belts of Inoue, I think have, like, look at Devin Haney. Devin Haney has fought much better guys, like Lomachenko 100 times better than anyone that Inoue has fought and probably will ever fight. No. This all that. Who else he fought? I don't think Kambosos is all that good, but I would say Kambosos is probably still better than everybody that, not everybody, but 99% of everybody that Inoue has fought. Matter of fact, I would say Kambosos is better than Fulton. I would say that. I think Kambosos is better than Fulton. I think, I say Donaire's still better than Kambosos, especially with his legacy on the side, but he was 40 and 38 and 40 in respective fights he fought against, Inoue. But again, I'm not impressed. And I don't know why people even complain like, "Oh, why are you bullying Inoue?" Like, do you guys not want to see him fight good fights, or y'all want to keep seeing him get $30 million to beat up cans? Like, dude, I'm pretty. And they can say, "Oh, he fought 10 times a year against burger flippers and trash man and Uber drivers and taxi drivers. He fought 10 times a year doing that." But in matter of fact, let me say that person. Even Canelo, like, I say Caleb Plant better than anyone that Inoue has ever fought. Caleb Plant. And people saying, oh, Canelo ain't fighting nobody. But when Canelo was fighting, he was fighting better people than Inoue's fighting. Like I said, he was busy and he was fighting better fighters. I'm trying to think, what's that guy name? I forget his names, but he fought a lot of real good boxers. What's that real slick white boxer from Europe that he broke his jaw? I forget the guy's name, but that guy was a beast. He dogged him. Caleb Plant's elite. The shell of Kovalev is still, I would say, better than anyone Inoue has fought. So you might say, Canelo's wins when he was fighting active or smoking mirrors, but I would say he's fighting better people than Inoue has ever fought. Like, yes, a washed Sergey Kovalev, but still a good, credible enough version of Sergey Kovalev. He fought Triple G 3 times. Caleb Plant, I'm not saying like he's some super elite win, but again, I would still rate Caleb Plant better than anyone that Inoue has ever fought. And and I would say Canelo went up real weight classes and fought real fighters. Who else he fought? Danny Jacobs. I say Daniel Jacobs better than anyone that Inoue has ever fought. Yes, they got all these little fake belts. Oh, the guy I fought was a 3-division champion, but your weight classes are 2 pounds apart. There's like 4 or 5 belts in every weight class, and your weight classes are 2 or 3 pounds apart. You really ain't fought nobody. Inoue has not fought one legit person on the pound, like one legit person that was actively on the pound list or even deserved to be on the pound list. Now they're gonna try to fake and make Nakatani out to be a true pound person, but Nakatani is not a true pound name. He's not. And I think his last fight showed that as well. Even when I was in his last fight, I didn't think Nakatani was no real pound fighter. I don't think so. But especially as last fight, it makes it obvious. It's everything I said. And you can say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. But who he fought? His fight prior, I knew he was going to get dropped. In his last fight, I knew he was going to get dropped. He got dropped. Like, I know Inoue better than his Glazers know him. His defense is not that good. He could look slick and stuff because he's fighting guys that don't got no threat to him. But the moment anybody got a little bit of power, he gets dropped every single time because his defense is trash. He got punching power, he got speed and athleticism, but the skills are smoke and mirrors. The skills aren't what they are to be. Like I said, you put a top NBA player at LA Fitness, they're gonna look good. That's what Inoue really is. He's a NBA, probably like a top 30 NBA player performing against LA Fitness players. That's what he is. So he could look phenomenal, but Put him in with a real legit fighter, he's gonna get exposed. And even against non-legit fighters, he's been dropped like 5 times in his career. He had his jaw broke against a washed O'Neal. Like his defense is horrendous. But again, you can feel free and flow. Like I can look. You put me in there with some, well, like I don't know who. You gotta put some real low. you put me in there with some cheerleaders. They start throwing punch me. I can look like I'm Floyd Mayweather out there. Not to say I have bad defense, but yeah, putting me in with somebody that's that low beneath me in skill, my defense can look crazy good. And that's just a no way looking against these people. But yeah, we seen a no way drop probably in the past 2-3 years. We probably seen him drop 3 times. So he's not that guy. He's good, but I want to see him fight real competition for once, not guys just with fake belts. But that's what I'll say about that. I guess let me see what's the next topic. Let me talk about. So I'm not even looking at the YouTube comments. But I got like 8 people on YouTube, so I'm ignoring y'all, even though y'all give me the most views right now. But I'm not making no money, so look at the YouTube comments. It's not like I owe y'all nothing. But let me see what y'all saying on. Then y'all yapping like a mug in here. I'm not making no money, so y'all yapping like a mug on YouTube. Y'all talking to yourself. What's up, Robot Chicken? Yeah, even ESPN Plus does suck. Oh, Paramount. I think they do yearly subscriptions. So you try to do monthly, probably like $20 a month, or not fair. I think it's real cheap. Actually, I think the lowest plan is like $7.99 a month. Where I think the top tier plan is like $16 a month. So it's much cheaper than ESPN Plus, and you could just do the whole year for like starting at $79.99. The whole year $79.99, or the premium whole year for like $112. What Oliveira versus Mario. I don't know what Oliveira you talking about. Hello, Rob. Why you calling him Robot? Who you got? Mario again? What Mario versus what Oliveira? Oh, probably what's it? Mario Batista versus what's his first name? Oliveira. I know his last name. I know who you talking about. I probably lean Oliveira. But yeah, I read your comments a bit. Matter of fact, I can just stay on here right now and just because I'm not about to pull up another screen. So yeah, kind of get to the final segments of this stream here. Final segments. But yeah, who should be the fighter of the year for 2025 if they have not already decided? I think it was going to be Merab, especially if he would have finished off with a win. Then that would have been 4 title defenses in a year, and he was looking great. But the fact that he lost to Petr Yan, not to say that Petr Yan's a bad fighter, he's not. But anytime you take a loss, it's going to set you back. So I think, I think Islam Makhachev should definitely be the fighter of the year. Yes, Merab done a lot, but a loss sets him back. And that's a big thing in fighting. Like other sports, a loss might not take you off the fighter of the year or the athlete of the year. But in combat sports, losing is big in combat. Matter of fact, losing is bigger than winning a lot of times in combat sports. That's why guys look so much to protect their records and take easy competition and just build up wins and be so concerned about fighting the best fighters, because then you lose and it takes away a lot of your momentum, if not all of your momentum. But yeah, fighter of the year for 2025 without a doubt should be Islam Makhachev. He regained his pound number 1 spot. He became a 2-division champion. He didn't suffer a loss, and it's not like he was on a bad streak at any point. He's been winning. Like he might have had some disappointing performances against Poirier in the prior year. Disappointing performance against Renato Moicano a little bit. But prior to that, he beat pound number 1 at the time, Volk. Beat him again. Beat Charles Oliveira, who I think was pound number 2. Like, who really does that? So his resume was already crazy. Then this year, to add another weight class, another belt to the resume, and to go back to being pound number 1, I think he should be fighter of the year 2025 without a doubt. But yeah, Merab did great, but that loss definitely took him off the top spot. And I think at number 2 probably be Topuria. So number 1, Islam for 2025. Number 2, Topuria. Then number 3, Merab. I can still see Merab being number 2 because it's not like Topuria's done nothing that phenomenal. He did become a 2-division champion this year as well. But he beat up Makhachev's leftover. It's not like he was the first guy to beat Oliveira when he was streaking. Like he was not the first guy to beat championship Oliveira. Matter of fact, he wasn't even the third guy. I mean, he wasn't even the second guy. The first guy was Islam. Then it was Arman. And then it was Topuria. So Topuria is like the third guy to beat Oliveira since he became champion. Since he had his records he made, since he peaked, I guess is the best way to say it. Since being champion and peaking there, he was the third guy to beat that version of Oliveira. So we can't act like he was the first guy to knock him out that cold, and the first guy to knock out Holloway cold. But yeah, I can see Topuria being number 3 and Merab being number 2. But losing again is so big in combat sports that you probably got to give Topuria the second spot and give Makhachev the first spot, and then give Merab the third spot because of loss. But Merab does so much. So even suffering the loss at the end of the year, the stuff he did at the beginning of the year carries so heavy that he's still up there among the best fighters of 2025, despite suffering a loss and he still had one of the best years of 2025, like despite the loss. And he'll probably be right there next year fighting for the belt again in a rematch. So he has that to look for as well. But yeah, Islam Makhachev without doubt, pound number 1 and the fighter of the year for 2025. But like I said, we could dislike him or not. I don't dislike Islam, but I think he's definitely number 1 this year. Like I said, the stats and the facts speak for themselves. He has the belt. He's a 2-division champion, but yeah, he's number 1. And also, one last thing I will close out with, I think Islam Makhachev is actually undervalued and underappreciated. I still be saying people put Volk above him on their power pound list. Not saying like current power pound, but all-time great list. I still be saying people rank Volk all-time ahead of Islam. And I be still saying people rank Khabib ahead of him all-time. When those are 2 people I definitely think are not above Islam. If 2 people are not above Islam, those 2 people are definitely not Khabib and definitely not Volk. He beat Volk twice. First fight was close, could go all the way, but at the end of the day, the judges gave it to him. And then he knocked him out in the rematch. And Volk could have came in on short notice or whatnot, but he's a grown man. He signed up for the fight. He showed up. He got knocked out. So Volk is 0-2 against Islam. Islam's a 2-division champion. He might not have as many defenses as Volk yet, but he's not far behind. And he has 2 wins over him. And he's a 2-division champion. So he's definitely above Volk. Khabib, he has more defenses than Khabib. He has much better wins than Khabib. He's, again, more title defenses, better wins, 2-division champion. Khabib could be slapping around in the gym today. Still. Could have beat him every single time they fought in the gym. Still, past, present, future. But at the end of the day, it's not what you do outside the ring or outside the octagon. It's what you do in the octagon. And the fact that Khabib himself chose to retire and leave his career at 3 defenses, and Islam came behind him, won the belt, had 4 defenses, actively beat guys on the pound list that were active. He beat Charles Oliveira when he was active and was like number 3 or number 2 pound. He beat Volk when Volk was the number 1 pound. Conor McGregor's highest pound win was McGregor, who they just kept on the pound list, even though he had not fought in the UFC for like 2-3 years, and come off getting beat up by Mayweather. And they still kind of held him at like number 5, number 6. That's your best pound win. A drunk, cocained out McGregor that had not fought in MMA in several years and came back for a title shot. And you struggled in that fight low key. And that's your best pound win. Whereas Islam knocked off 2 guys in the top 3 pound back to back. First Volk and then Oliveira. Matter of fact, I really could say it's 3 straight because he fought 3 of them. He fought 3 fights against them. He fought Volk, beat him, pound on 1. Fought Charles. Well, he fought Charles to get the belt, and he defended against Volk, so I'm saying it backwards. But he fought Charles, who was like number 3 to get the belt. Then he defended against Volk, who was number 1 at the time. Then he beat Volk again, who probably was like number 2. Or matter of fact, I think they kept Volk as number 1 because they said it was so close. They kept Volk as number 1, which was weird. Then he beat Volk, and so he beat the pound number 1 guy twice. And both fights Volk was considered to be the number 1 pound by UFC rankings. So he beat the number 1 pound guy in 2 consecutive fights. So what Islam has done in his career is amazing, and no disrespect to Volk or Khabib, but I think he clears them very clearly. Beating Volk twice and then doing what he's done on top of that, easily clears Volk. Not to say Volk is not this or that, but he's definitely above Volk, and I definitely think he's above Khabib. So yeah, Islam deserves his flowers. I definitely think he's far up there on the pound list. I think at the very least top 5 pound all time. What happens in the future if he gets knocked out and a couple times, submitted or whatever, and drops a little bit further? But as of right now, he's at least top 5 pound, I think, or top 6 pound. So Islam deserves his flowers. And I'm not even like the biggest, I'm not even a big or an Islam fan supporter, but he's cool and all. But again, for me, who's not a Islam fan supporter, yeah, I think it's a lot for me to say that. No bias that he's a top 5, top 6 all time fighter. So as we speak right now. So shout out to Islam Makhachev. He definitely deserves all his respect and flower. He went up to welterweight and just beat a young, 27, 28-year-old fighter who was freshly the champion, come off of a great win over Bilal, and he went out there and dominated him. So that is stuff that really pushes your legacy further. Like, and that's something that Khabib was definitely scared to do. He didn't want to fight Kamaru Usman. He didn't want to fight Tyron Woodley. He didn't want to fight Kobe Covington. Like, he definitely avoided that weight class, whereas Islam didn't. And yes, Islam got the perfect time where there was a striker as champion, where Khabib never got that opportunity, because pretty much all the time while Khabib was champion at lightweight, the champions were bigger wrestlers. There was, again, Woodley. Interim champion was Kobe Covington. Yeah, Kamaru Usman is the champion. Like, so during his whole reign, Khabib, it was wrestlers, welterweight wrestlers. So, yeah, Khabib had his reason, and it's not like Islam went up to welterweight and fought a prime wrestler. He fought a prime striker. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. But what are y'all thoughts on that matter? What do y'all think Islam ranks all time? And do you think he's fight of the year 2025? And do you think he's pound for pound number one? He should be pound for pound number one. But in my thoughts, I think he should be pound for pound number one as far as right now. I'm not saying all time, but as far as right now, he's pound for pound number one. All time, he's probably like number 5 or number 6. He's definitely, in my opinion, the fight of the year. And as I said, I think he's pretty clearly above Khabib and Volk, at the very least. Pretty clearly above those guys. Yeah, me and Cola do need to do a stream, to be honest. But again, when she streams next, you got to flood her chat. So the people on you, matter of fact, how do I plug her? Not in that way. No innuendos, but how do you give a shout out? Clip that, raid this, manage goals, stream together. I don't know. But anyway, y'all gotta rate her chat and tell her to collab with me. Or something. But I'll just type her name. So on YouTube, that's her username. So if y'all want to, y'all can go to her channel. Don't go too crazy. Maybe just one particular video. Y'all just pick a video y'all want to go to. Maybe her most recent video. You gotta be like, hey, collab with KOC. That's how you gotta type. Like, just be like, hey, there's a bunch of y'all just type this. You know, maybe get some prop, like say he's the coolest guy ever. He's he got big money or something, like lays me up, and go to her channel and like collab with KOC. For the people on YouTube, so if y'all in the stream, go to her channel, subscribe to her on YouTube, that's free. Comment on her most recent video, collab with KOC. Or you should collab with KOC. And we could get this collab that Jill wants. And I want. Alexis in Nigeria. What's up, Moise? Haven't seen you in a minute. But I know you always be around, though. But matter of fact, have I seen you on Twitter? I feel like you've been quiet on Twitter because there's been no fights. Safe vehicles. So are the roads rough out there in Nigeria? Like, how did the tire pop? Was it like glass or like there's nails on the road? Like, how'd that happen? They got crazy speed bumps. They got potholes out there that crazy. But I guess he learned his lesson now. He'll go out there fully secured or something. He'll probably get an actual driver and get an actual safe vehicle. Well, yeah, what I'm going to conclude this with? What can I conclude this with? So, yappity yap, 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 yappity yap. So I talked about Inoue. I talked about Joshua. What else is there? I talked about the Pound Pound #1 and Grace this, Great that. So I pretty much covered everything. I did say that would be the last thing. Now I guess I can close the stream out. Clip farming. Me getting rid of Hulu. So how do I tie this clip farming in perfectly and get it in under a minute? So let me see how I'm gonna do this. It's not really clip farming because I'm really getting rid of Hulu. I'm not gonna sign up for Paramount on this stream. I'll do that off stream, but I will get rid of Hulu and ESPN Plus and Disney on this stream. Oh, so you've been busy. Makes sense. And why is my YouTube stream glazing you right now? You just popped in the chat and they just gave you the #1 spot. You must got some real aura. I guess they said this guy is pursuing higher education. Make him #1. Like no gifts, no bits, no nothing. And on YouTube they gave you the #1 crown already. Yeah, science report and past exam. What's pedagogy? Well, I could just Google it. Like people be asking questions they could just Google. But then again, it does make conversation. What is pedagogy? The method and practice of teaching. So, going to school, studying, teaching. So, we trying to become like a professor or something? Like a college professor? So, don't you gotta be like a doctor? I don't know. I think you gotta be, to be a college professor, I think you gotta have a doctorate. Oh, teach science. So why is the thing to say on me that pedagogy is the method and practice of teaching, especially is an academics. Well, I can't speak basic English, but the method and practice of teaching, especially, is an academic subject or theoretical concept. Art is simply the art, science, or method of teaching. So you're trying to be like a college professor, like a college science professor, or are you trying to teach in high schools? Like, what you trying to do? Middle? Well, I doubt middle school. Probably like high school or college. And do they require you to teach like grade school first and work your way up, or high school? But do you ever want to be like a college professor, or you got to start high school and then work your way up to college? High school, college, or middle school? Yeah, that's dope. All right, let's see. So I've been on YouTube for 43 minutes. I've been on Twitch for 1 hour and 24 minutes. Let me see. How did I get to the wrapping up of this? Hulu. They logged me out. I guess they see that I'm about to unsubscribe, so they're like, let me log this guy out. But yeah. ESPN Plus, it's been a good run, but you guys have gotten rid of the UFC and let Paramount Plus buy the deal, so it's been a good run. I'm gonna have to let you I gotta do this right. Because I might make a clip out of this. I might make a clip. I may or may not make a clip out of this. May or may not. But yeah, let me try to go back to it. Let me try to go back to it again. But ESPN Plus, it has been a good run, but I'm going to have to let you guys go because you guys got rid of the UFC, let Paramount Plus buy it out, and that was the only reason I had ESPN Plus. I know I had the Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN bundle and whatnot. And also, right before the end, y'all took the price up like $5, which was crazy. And I had to take that $5 up just so I could watch a couple final UFC fights. Again, which was crazy. But yeah, y'all got rid of UFC. So I'm going to have to get rid of you. Like, Disney Plus and Hulu is cool, but I really don't even use those apps much anyway. So, yeah, I have nothing really left to subscribe for. So, this is the end of the subscription. Dang, why does loading screen so long? Ways to save. Nope, I'm continuing to cancel. Let me put this on the screen so I can show me cancel. Yeah, they still trying to keep me around. You can see my full government name over there. Some of y'all already know it. But well, not my full government. Y'all missing my middle name there. But yeah. Time to say goodbye. ESPN Plus, goodbye. Peace out, ESPN Plus. Nope. Y'all doing a lot to keep me here. I'm canceling. We're good. Gone. I doubt y'all missed. Well, y'all missed my money. But y'all should have kept UFC there. But y'all fumbled, so y'all are gone. Y'all are all done. I'm done with y'all. Yeah, they were definitely as a mug. But that's $30 a month I'll be saving from them. And plus, like, pay-per-views were like $80. So I'll really probably be saving over $1,000 this year. Well, I'm gonna say I'll be saving. I'll be saving at least $700 this year that I won't be spending on pay-per-views. So at least $700 because I'll still be spending like $120 off rip, but the rest of the year I won't be spending that $800 on pay-per-views. I won't be spending that $70 additional dollars because I'll be spending like $30 a month. So I don't know the math of that. So what's 30 times 10? Dang. I'm paying 30 months. That's 300. That's 300 right there. It's 10 months. Need 2 more months. That's like at least $360 a month. I mean, $360 a year just off the monthly for the bundle. And then on top of that, like probably like 8-10 pay-per-views a year. So that's like $800. So 800, like $1,160, I think, at least a year that went to ESPN Plus. And I won't be spending that no more. I'll just be spending $120 off rip. I know they're probably going to start trying to do crazy things as the year goes on because they're going to be trying to maximize that UFC deal. But off rip right now, at the very least, I'll be spending way less because they said they're not doing pay-per-views. But people always change their minds. But we'll see. Hopefully they don't change their mind and just $120. And that'll be a very, very big saving that I won't be having to spend on UFC or ESPN Plus. Yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense. And matter of fact, pay-per-view's kind of crazy anyway. Like, you be paying for the app, and then you watch the whole card, and then the final 5 fights, you pay $80 for 5 fights. Like, none of it made sense. Then a lot of times, the pay-per-view fights end up sucking. But this makes a lot more sense. And I hope people actually don't be cheap and just pay for that $112. But you know people still going to be cheap. They're still going to be illegally streaming the fight. But I think $112 a year is a very, very good value, very fair value, to be honest. Yeah, I noticed that too, because I had to pay. I was trying to watch a UFC fight, and like, no, you got to upgrade your deal to watch this fight. So it was like 2 more fights left, or 2 or 3 more cards left, and I had to upgrade, like, pay $5 more. Like, they definitely were just doing the most. And that I think that was only with UFC fights. Like, I think the rest of ESPN stuff like was cool, but they said to watch UFC fights, you had to upgrade to a bigger bundle. But yeah, today's the 29th. I'm trying to see how I'm going to do this. 31st. I might go live 31st. I could go live 30th too. I was thinking about getting back into the UFC game. I haven't played a UFC game in since UFC 3 or 4. But I was thinking about my main thing with the UFC game is I don't think my PC can handle it, so I might have get a graphics card, so I probably had to get a controller. But then again, can't you connect your Xbox controller to the PC in a way? But I see. I think main thing I do, I would have to download the game. It's probably cheap now, probably like $20, $30. I don't know how much a graphics card costs or where I would get one. If I had to go to Amazon, I probably wouldn't get it before the end of the year. But I was thinking about, that'd be something I could do on stream. I could play UFC. That'd be a very easy stream element I could do where I just play UFC. And I could easily do hours of UFC because in the past, I'd be on UFC for like 5 hours, whole day sometime. It's something fun to do. It's something I already done. And it's something that, I think people can enjoy that already like UFC content. So it'll be an easy crossover. And a segment that don't really something that don't take any thought at all to do. So it'll be an easy way for me to just hop on stream and be somewhat consistent while I'll come up with ideas or save up for ideas or whatever, the whole 9 yards for other stuff I'm thinking about doing. But I had to look into that. Do I need a new graphics card? Because even like RuneScape be saying I need a new graphics card, but I haven't got it yet. And I don't know where I would even put it. I'm still very new to this streaming stuff. And in the past with PCs, all I did was just buy them. I never done anything extra to them. So I don't know where I would put the graphics card at. If I got a new one. It's probably somewhere on here. But new graphics card, maybe a new controller, UFC game, and but that probably be like the beginning of next year. As far as the 31st, I'll probably react to Street Beef fights and probably be like, hey, for every $5, I'll take a shot or something like that. That's probably what I'll do for New Year's or 31st, rolling into New Year's. But as far as the segment, I hit all the topics I wanted to hit on Twitch. Then I hit all the topics I wanted to hit on YouTube. There's really not much more for me to cover. I appreciate everyone that tuned in. I appreciate everyone that gifted. So shout out to Acola with the 5 gifted this stream earlier on Twitch. Shout out to Jill with the bits, the 40 bits on Twitch earlier today. So yeah, shout out to everybody that came here. I was surprised. Matter of fact, usually when I go live on YouTube, nobody really tunes in unless it be UFC. So the fact that this title has nothing to do with UFC and 10 people, 14 people popped in here, I appreciate it. I guess, y'all really ain't got nothing else to do because there's no UFC content. So I can't really give y'all all the credit in the world because y'all really got not much other content y'all can watch right now. But again, there's always something else you could be doing. So the fact y'all still popping in is something. Again, I won't give y'all the full credit. I'll give y'all half credit. But the fact that like 14 people popped in and we've been consistently at 7 viewers, 10 viewers here on YouTube, I appreciate y'all. So shout out to y'all. Y'all ain't give nothing, but I appreciate y'all. So I appreciate that. Oh, that's why you're here. So you got a long lunch break because I feel like you've been here longer than 30 minutes. You lucky. A lot of people lunch break be like 20 minutes, 15 minutes. So the fact you've been here for like 30 minutes, like shout out to you, wherever you work at, whoever you work for, y'all, they are actually give y'all a decent lunch break time. So shout out to them. So shout out to you for being here and shout out for your employer for giving you an actual respectable size. And then y'all got an hour lunch break. Yeah, shout out to them. But they doing it right. Other people be doing it bad. Let me see. I haven't really worked for I mainly work for myself, but I didn't only work for someone else once in my lifetime, and that was Amazon. Like, as far as working for someone, like, not as a contractor. Like, working for somebody where I'm physically on location at some place was Amazon. And I think the lunch break really felt like 20 minutes. All you had time to do was eat your lunch. And I know other people created their own break, like they would dip off and find little ways to sneak off, but yeah, I wasn't able to do that, or I didn't really try to do that. Like, the break was mad short. I got to eat my lunch, and that was it. And I was back in there working. So yeah, Amazon definitely needs an hour lunch break with all the work they make you do over there. Not that little 20, 15 minute, whatever they gave you, that BS. But again, shout out to you guys again for showing up here. You know, be consistently around 7, 8 viewers in here. Peak probably like 14, 15 viewers. I talked about that at the beginning of the video or at the beginning of the stream, but Anthony Joshua was involved in a car accident I mean, it is a bit clickbait, but that's what most news sites are saying. Like, he didn't die in the car accident, but people did die in the car accident. It was a fatal car accident. It wasn't fatal for him, but I believe he did lose 2 of his friends or 2 of his associates. Like, they were in the front seat involved in the accident, and I believe they allegedly passed away, is what a lot of sites are reporting. But Joshua only suffered minor injuries, so he's still in good health, minor injuries, but the people that were driving the car had passed away. Tire popped, they lost control, they drove into a car that was parked along the road. They crashed into that car, and they passed away. They crashed into a truck. What do you mean with Jake Paul? You think Jake Paul pulled some voodoo? I really don't think it had nothing to do with Jake Paul at all, or voodoo or anything like that. I just think it was... No, he probably was a little bit too comfortable. Things happen. And he probably should drive in... Oh, Joseph Parker. Oh, something happened with Joseph Parker? I know he lost his last fight. Like, he was on a good streak, probably the best streak of his career as far as at this level. Joseph Parker, like, he was having a good resurgence, then he got knocked out. That was what happened in the last fight. But hey, I don't know. That stuff happens. Maybe he overlooked his opponent, or maybe his opponent just had a good style for him. Has he fought since that last loss? Oh, he failed a test. Didn't he lose? So he failed a test and lost. That's crazy. So you were doing good, you lose, and then you pop for a test. Like, you didn't pop when you were winning, you popped when you lost. That's a double whammy right there. Like, you lose and then you pop. If anything, like, he was on like performance. It looked like he was on drugs that would adversely affect his performance, not positively affect his performance. Cocaine. Yeah, that makes sense that he was on cocaine. It looked like he was on type of drugs in that fight. It looked like he didn't have the same. Also, he was hanging with John Jones, so that's also funny. I mean, funny, sad, whatever. So he trained with John Jones for a Stipe fight, and then right after that, he loses and he tests positive for cocaine. The dots are connecting. She said, if the GOAT of MMA could do it, I could do it. But everyone's not John Jones. Only the GOAT could get away with doing cocaine and win fights. So, not Fabio, but Joseph Parker, you can't move like you're John Jones. Only John Jones can get away with that. Maybe Floyd, but Floyd don't do drugs. Maybe Mike Tyson. Conor McGregor can't get away with it. Matter of fact, I haven't really seen too many fighters get away with doing cocaine and still perform at the highest level. I feel like usually when fighters start doing cocaine and binging and doing stuff like that, they start declining. But again, I think, matter of fact, even Tyson, when he started doing cocaine, that was around the decline of his career. So really, the only person I've seen that really used cocaine and was performing well is John Jones. Maybe some Muay Thai fighters did heavy drugs like that and did well. But as far as like MMA and boxing, kickboxing, only guy I've seen do well off a cocaine binge is John Jones. Yeah, stuff like that can happen. So I don't think he intentionally took cocaine or anything like that. He has had a long career, and that just seems so out of pocket. Yeah, that's weird. But I think he's okay. Hopefully he don't get no punishment for this, and I don't think he'll ever test positive for any drugs again. I just think this was one slip up. Whether he did it intentionally himself, recreation, like, because he, I don't know, is on cocaine now or has been on cocaine, or somebody put it in his drink or put it in some of his food or something. Whatever way. Either way, I just think this is just one of those things that was just like a one-time slip up. Whether he's doing or other people's doing. But I think this will get cleared. Because we have seen people like Baumgartner test positive for PEDs, and they do a couple tests and they get past it. I think this will be swept underneath the rug, to be honest. Especially since he lost. If he won, it would be a big thing, but he lost. he lost, and this don't even seem like it's even in his character. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully that gets cleared up. Hopefully. But I'm about to end the stream. I'm probably going to spark again tomorrow. Well, before the year ends, I will spark at least one more time before the year ends. But as far as this stream, it's going to be a wrap for the stream. Thanks to everyone that tuned in. Again, thanks to everyone that gifted. And thanks to everyone. And shout out to all of you like that tune in to the streams, that view the videos, like the videos. Like whether you do one or all about what, like if you're viewing the stream, shout out to you. If you're subbing to the channel, shout out to you. If you're subbing to the Twitch, following the Twitch, whether you're doing one or all of the above, shout out to you. So, and if you're doing everything, like Jill, I'm pretty sure Jill has done everything. I don't think Jill has donated on YouTube, but she has subscribed on Twitch. She has gifted on Twitch. She has subscribed to me on YouTube. She has been in the stream. So I think Jill's the only one that has done every single thing. So, well, maybe almost every single thing, but she has done the most. So shout out to Jill for that. But again, whether you're doing one or all of the above, shout out to y'all. But especially if you're doing everything, shout out to you big time. But shout out to the gifters, Okola. Shout out to Jill for covering all the boards, and shout out to everyone that the first step. But just just being here, being present. So shout out to the first steppers, which is the majority of you. Like the first steppers, just popping in here, viewing, chatting. Matter of fact, shout out to the chatters too, because chatting is big too, because you could definitely be looking crazy on stream just talking to yourself. The fact that people are in here talking to me, and I'm not just talking to myself. Talking is major. Like sometimes talking probably could be bigger than gifts, to be honest. Like you just talking to yourself look crazy. So to have people that in here for the 30 minutes, the hour in here actually giving me conversation and whatnot, and opening my eyes up to things, or at least give me alerting me on things that I don't even know about, give me newfound information, or commenting on stuff that's going on in your life, like Moyes did. Moyes talking about he was in his pedagogy class trying to be a study up and pass his test so that he could be a science teacher or science professor in high school. So the stuff y'all give me a little insight into your lives, or insight into stuff I didn't know what was going on, like what Joseph Parker here, like Brad was telling me. So shout out to all of y'all, like communicating. Also shout out to Jill, pushing that collab constantly every single time she pops on the stream. So shout out to Jill. So yeah, again, Jill doing all the things. She's promoting me. She's on here subbing. She's on here in both chats at the same time, simultaneously. So yeah, shout out to everybody though. All y'all matter. All y'all add value, and I appreciate every last one of you guys. And even the viewer, like, again, viewing is the first step. So that's really the most important step. If I had 1,000 viewers in here and none of y'all were talking, it'd probably be bots, but that's the big steps. That's the very first step. So I appreciate all 1,000 of you, even if y'all all were mute. And then the chatters. But all of it matters. All of it matters. Every single thing matters. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. Big contribution, or even the smallest, biggest contribution by just being here. So again, that's been enough glaze. Y'all got enough props for the Christmas. That's y'all Christmas gift. But that's been the streams. I appreciate you all. And to all a good day, and to all a good night. I will catch you guys again at least one more time before the year is over. But that's been it. Peace out. That's the stream. And that's the stream.